Yo! What's up? What's up? Man, I'm hype on this one. I mean, like, I'm all the time saying the same thing. What's up, Mac? But I'm super happy to talk about the one and only Ivan Narez, the guy who brought to life project like this one and yeah, like millions of other projects which are like super cool. How you doing, Matthias? All good in Strasbourg? C'est bon? With Ivan, we're going to talk about like what is going on in NorCal. What does it mean to grow up skating with people like Vinny Minton, Eric Garcia, all the NorCal crew, the NorCal people, and if he was at the IMYTA, because San Jose had like 2 IMYTA finals actually. So, man, I wish they were making it here in Milan. It could have been pretty cool. Let's invite some people here to join the chat. Grande Yari, com'è? Hey Daniel, what's up? Rosie? So this one's gonna be super fun. Man, I need to. Oh, this is too much, maybe. So I'm really curious to ask Ivan, like, what was the idea behind the Shred Till You're Dead project, or like, for example, the latest pro-announcement video for David Sizemore for Them Skates, it has been shot entirely in film. Super crazy. So like, I'm wondering like if it was like expensive, or like how did it make it for the tries of the tricks and stuff like that. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that like David did most of them first try, but still. If you guys have any question, just like send them here. Earlier, like, we have talked with Patrick Reader, and it has been like a super interesting chat. We have talked about like the develop of the 909 skate, who John has just released. Lucky for him, like, he was able to receive those skates, even if like China has been shut it down for like more than like 2 months or something like that. Man, Matthias Ilan, so am I. I do really would love to see something more from him. Maybe a skate? A new Matthias Ilan shift skate? That would be cool, man. I do love it. Big fan of Matthias. Since like, the first time that I've met Matthias was during the Balkan tour in 2005, I believe. And ever since, I've been like a huge fan of him. He was doing those crazy switch ups. Minchia, grande Iari, stai facendo Deliveroo? Damn, che eroe. What's up, John? ¿Cómo estás, hermano? ¿Todo bien? You here? Are those Republicans still in the streets protesting against the government? Great. Todo bien. Oh, Valo 6. Harry, that's a cool question. Like, I heard that like people... I heard that like people have seen Valo 6. Who knows? Like, why? Probably because Valo was owned by Rossis. Maybe because of that. I don't know. No way. That's what the people they are saying. Give me people or give me freedom or my body. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes my English is like a little bit broke. I'm gonna try. I was saying earlier that I went downstairs skating earlier today. So luckily I was able to skate like an half an hour because I built up like with pallets this grind box. It's not that long. It's going to be like probably 1 meter and 60 centimeter long. So all Republicans say Corona is fake, dude. Crazy, man. And with Ivan, I really would like to talk with him about this. I've seen this documentary called Living Undocumented, which is crazy, man. It blows my mind. So Ivan is already here, so we can start with this one. As always, I'm super excited. So let's wait for Ivan to be connected. Yo,
Good afternoon.
good to see you. Good to see you,
I'm
man. How are you?
I'm good. Good. I was just watching the Palas Perdidas New York thing. So
Man, I haven't seen it yet because right after that I finished with Patrick. I started to cook and stuff like that. Then I watched the news at the telly. But yeah, right after this one, I'm gonna watch it. Is that cool?
yeah, I mean I was only halfway, so then I saw, so I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Ah,
But yeah, it was cool
great.
so far.
Where you at right now? In San Francisco?
I live in Berkeley, so it's like on the other side of San Francisco, just north of Oakland.
Okay, okay.
So
So like,
probably 15 kilometers away from San Francisco or something.
okay. So like pretty close where like Bees lives or not?
Who?
Bees, Kevin, Thompson.
Oh, no, he lives in Concord, I think. So
Ah,
Um, not really that close. He's more on the way to where my mom lives, or
okay.
where I grew up, kind of like in Antioch, in Brentwood and stuff like that. And it's more like east, I guess. And San Francisco is kind of like on the peninsula, and then the other side of the bridge is Oakland
Okay.
and Berkeley. So it's like, so I'm just right there.
So like he lives pretty close where you because I was watching a couple of video earlier and I saw the video of Victor Arias Pro Skate, which is amazing. I do love it and like where Victor says Ivan lived there, like and I was living 3, 4 houses back there and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I grew up with my family. Which they still live there. Victor doesn't live there anymore, but my parents still do. And
Man,
so I was actually just there for like almost a month, so that was pretty nice
man.
because I spent a lot of time with my family, and it was good.
Like, did you guys like? I always wonder because I see you guys skating together since the very first video that I saw you guys skating together. I wouldn't say together, but like you guys were and in the same videos was probably untitled. I would say, is that right?
Yeah, well, no, because Justin Lomax used to make videos when we were younger, and so he would have things like it was probably Northern Exposure, which was a VHS video, of course,
Okay,
and then maybe not that popular, reasonably popular within California, but Italy's a long way, of course, so a lot of things probably weren't seen. So Justin was probably the first one that put us in stuff together, which was like that, and then what else did he make? I guess he made the Solomon video, but the Solomon video was probably after Untitled.
okay, and like so you and Vic like basically grew up together skating, right?
Yeah, I've known him for a long time, for sure. Like maybe since I was 10 or something. We grew up skating together, and then kind of like everyone stopped skating, and then it was kind of just like me and Victor skating, and eventually we met Vinny, and then but Vinny was much old. I mean, he's not much older, but at the time, when we were like 12, and Vinny was like 16 or something, it was like a big difference. So we didn't really hang out with them until like a little bit. We were like 13 or 14 or 15,
And like,
so
how was it like growing up skating with the people like Vini or like Eric Garcia and all of those legends from NorCal?
I mean, it was great. I mean, that
Nice.
definitely Vinny was the first guy that we would have met that was like that, at least. And I mean, definitely helped. He helped us a lot because he hooked us up with Solomon, of course, and they used to give us like 3 pairs of skates like every 3 months, dude. It was crazy. Like,
Damn.
we used to like sell them, and so it was like, well, what the hell? I can't get many skates. It was so that was obviously different times. But Vinny was
Great,
definitely Vinny was definitely like the one who probably helped us the most.
great, great.
And Vic,
And and I was like wondering to ask you, like, you're from Mexico, don't you?
yeah, I
And
was I
like,
was in Mexico, but I was raised in California because I moved here when I was probably like 4.
mm-hmm.
So most of the things that I know are from California, of course, but I do go to Mexico like every year. So,
Oh, great.
fun.
Because I was like, I was saying earlier, like, I've seen this documentary called Living Undocumented on Netflix, and it talks about like all of these law made by the Trump government about like the immigration system and all that. And I personally, I mean, like, I don't know anything. Like, the only thing that I know about like the American politics is what I've learned from newspaper or from like the television here in Italy and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it seems to me something like really understandable. Like they're literally like in a way hunting people to bring them back to their country, or like they're pushing like dividing mothers and kids, and I mean like it's something really that I don't really comprehend. And I was wanting to ask you, like, which are your thoughts about it, and if
I
it
don't
is like
know.
still a thing.
Obviously, it's awful for sure, but it's hard for me because I don't ever really see it. You read a lot about it, and I guess I'm kind of like you, even though I'm in California, but I don't really see it that much other than just what I'm able to read. So I don't know, to be honest, but I could imagine it's pretty awful for sure.
Mm, true. But like you, as a Mexican, are you able to? Because I'm half Filipino. Like my mom, with me and my brothers, like sometimes she's trying to teach us all of those things from the Philippines, or like the way of being respectful with your relatives and stuff like that. Are you still able to get? I can explain like use those Mexican not things to do, but like I don't know if you know what I mean. Kind of hard to explain it, but like
Like kind of like taking the culture, like the
exactly. Like
I mean, yeah,
trying.
I mean that I go to Mexico all the time, which is because I love it. I mean, I like Mexico more than I like here, but like realistically, there's not as much opportunity, there's not as much work. I haven't like had my whole life there, so realistically, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna move there to work because it's a little crazy, but I love it there for sure.
Man, it looks like such an amazing place. I was watching earlier Hermanos, and it looks super cool, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the best.
And then I always wanted to ask you, like, about like you have like an evolution, video wise, pretty cool. Like from the hyphy days till like the last video that you have dropped of David Sizemore, filmed entirely as Hermanos on film. Like, for example, how did you get involved into the hyphy project, and like which was your evolution on like all of the video project that you've done?
I mean, obviously, I started Hyphy with I started, or me, I guess me and Vinny started Hyphies because I was pretty much just filming Vinny all the time, like for whatever it was before Hyphies. Whether it was like I don't know, like all of Joe Navron stuff, and like after I guess Justin would have been originally the one filming Vinny and like let's say amateur and things like that because I was probably extremely young. But then as we got a little older for like Second Regime and all of the other stuff that Vinny had made, then I was helping film a lot of it. And then eventually we're just like, well, we might as well just make our own video because at that point Vinny was already like pro for Solomon and people were down. And at that time people were making footage with like, all you had to do was like ask a bunch of people and then you just like edited a video together and you filmed like 15% of it, 20% of it, 30% of it. so that you didn't even really have to film anything, all of it. Not that you do now, but you know most people do now. So it's like so.
True.
Started with the Hyphys, with like let's say Hyphy.
Oh, we got like some connection problem with the man. Let's see if he's able to. I lost you a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I got a phone call. So
I'm sorry.
yeah. So then we made Hyphy 1, I guess. But that video, I mean, the skating was great, but it was awful for sure.
But I mean, like it was like I mean, the idea was pretty cool, you know, to have like all of those incredible names sharing together parts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, then I mean, then eventually we like let's say the Hyphy 2 to Hyphy 3. Then we started filming everything ourselves because people would just come and stay for however long they wanted. Like Jeff would stay, Jeff Howard or Morsiglio or Austin or I don't know. I guess whoever was in it, Aragon, just all those kinds of guys would just come and stay. And Vinny lived in his mom's garage for a long time. Like, but the garage was like turned into a huge room, so we'd always hang out there, and tons of people would just stay there for weeks, and
Wow.
then it was great,
And I also heard that like you're a really good host, right?
A good what?
A good host. Like people like are coming to your house and stuff like that. I heard like
Yeah, but I mean, I'm a nice guy, but I spent a lot of time at other people's houses, so I've when people come to my house and do things that aren't that great, I like notice it, so then I make sure that I don't do it like that,
true,
and
makes sense.
you try and like also pay back the eternal debt of constantly sleeping at people's houses for, 5
Definitely.
consecutive years of my life or something.
Definitely. And like how did you get like I was always wonder also to ask you like for the IMYTA in San Jose, which is like pretty close, I believe, from where are you living, right?
Yeah, that
Like
was Antioch, which was well, at least it was after. Yeah, the Final Four was in Antioch because I think we got kicked out of. I drove to the IMYTA when I was 13 or 14 or something. Obviously didn't have a license, but my parents used to let me drive, and they used to let me like go to the skate park, which was like 5 minutes away. But I went to San Jose, which was like I don't know, like an hour and a half away at the time. And obviously I got lost because there was no. I got lost on the way to the second spot because it was like 50 cars like back to back to back. They're like, okay, the next spot is over here, and you're like, well, what the hell? Like, I don't, right? And then I end up in San Francisco, like a 30.
no way.
Anyways, back to your question. You were saying what?
No, like how was those IMYTA? Like, what was like the feeling of being like at those Final Four and all that?
It was the only feeling. I don't remember any of the San Jose ones, but I do remember. I remember the San Francisco because I was there.
No way, really?
But that was really like the first one that was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like, because I mean I didn't sure, and so I think it wasn't like a public. Maybe it was if you were like part of the crew or whatever, but I was really young, so that was the first time just seeing it in public and seeing that many people was really, really incredible. Like I remember seeing Moro with some like gray he had like silver K2s, and I was like, damn, how did he get those? Those are sick. What the hell, Like, and that was really like the main one that I remember, San Francisco one, because it was like it left a big, I guess.
The very first one, I bet, dude.
And fuck.
The very first one that I've been was like in Amsterdam in 2004 or something like that. But dude, I would like. I mean, yeah, too bad. Like I'm living here in Italy.
Yeah, I didn't go to the Amsterdam one though, so
And so like after I feel like you've done like a lot of incredible videos, such as like all of those Shred Till You're Dead 1 and 2. Like I was like, always wanted to ask you like if there will be like a chance to have like a Shred Till You're Dead 3 because the concept is pretty amazing, man. I do like it, and
you gotta call Erik and get him to come skate. I would say it's unlikely. Well, it's possible, but it'd be hard to have the same crew, you know, of course.
Mm.
And just it's different times, you know. It's harder. Like that was like, you know, you're camping every single day, skating every single day, which obviously does it sounds like I'm complaining, which I'm not. But like it's really tiring, you know, to like sleep on the floor and skate,
Mm.
sleep and then like and then you drink obviously a lot and then it's like you're doing that every day. It's like if you're not 25, if now you're 35, but you know, you get hotels or something. It's a little different now.
It's tough
As
one.
you get older, it's a little more tiring.
Mm. There's like a question from Jeremy Spira. He says, "Where's the Colorado road trip film?"
On my computer, just like Valo 6.
What happened to Valo 6? Because I heard people watch it. My brother Gabriel watched it. Probably I don't know if he was at the Blading Cup or the Winter Clash somewhere. Gabriel told me that he watched it.
Yeah, I mean, so essentially it was pretty much done, or it was done, but then in because we've always done like, you know, Vol 4 and Vol 5 through iTunes slash whatever it was that, like, you know, Amazon Music or Amazon, just any sort of like, you know, those kinds of platforms where you can upload your projects and sell them, but essentially they're more easily accessible. I can watch them or buy them, or they, you know, kind of live there, right? Which is great because it's easier to find and it's available to anyone. And not that Selfie is not, but the platform is much bigger, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the same plan to do it with this, and then we kind of lost some of the licensing for the music didn't go through essentially, and so it's kind of just had to rework a bunch of it, which was it just took me a really long time, you know, because I had probably spent 2 months straight on it, you know, working on it on the computer, and then like 3 months later, 4 months later, it's like fuck, we got to do all this shit again. And it's like,
Damn.
I was like, not that we had to go skate again, but you know, it was kind of just I guess lack of motivation for a while was really the major thing. But the past, let's say, month or something was kind of reworking some of the licensing and getting other people involved, and so it's I would say that it's pretty much done, but that's also what I've said for like 3 4 months. But it's pretty much done. I,
So maybe one day we're going
yeah,
to able to buy it.
yeah, of course. You're gonna be able to.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll put it online for free. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I mean,
No.
ideally, the plan is to try and just put it on bigger platforms. You know, where people can watch it for free because but you can watch it legally for free, right? Without like stealing Bob Dylan's music or something, right? Because that's always seems to be the issue that anytime you upload something with someone else's work involved, that it then they also have like they have like the control of the project, kind of like if you upload a thing to YouTube with someone else's song and it's like, oh, we muted it in some countries, or like now the advertising goes to this guy or whatever, it's right. So it's like,
True.
which is always kind of which half the time doesn't matter, but you can't put things on, you know, iTunes or Hulu or I don't know, whatever, Amazon stream or anything like that without having legitimate licensing in all of the project and every like permission from everyone essentially.
True.
And the
True.
skaters, but the skaters aren't going to sue you, you know, but you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. But like, are you able to work like even like what are you doing for a living? I do believe that you're doing videos, but like,
Yeah, I mean, I do video based work as well. I work in like I guess half of my work is probably in like advertising and stuff, like just like web. I work for this company that's called Square a lot, and they do like in here in America they do a lot of mobile transactions, and it's like if people want to have their own credit card readers and you sell it, you like we used it at the Blading Cup to sell Hermanos, right? And so you use it to sell your own stuff to people. It's like a credit card, whatever it is. So, but it's great because it gives a lot of people access to sell shit that before cash, and so you can use credit. But so it's a lot of companies like that, and then we also do. I work with a reasonable amount with Sylvan, who does all the film stuff in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we'll do a reasonable amount of music videos, all on film as well, and those are those are those are great because we always have a lot of control and they're always really fun and we get to go to cool places. The advertising stuff is kind of just like it's fun to work on sometimes, but you know, you're kind of just doing your job sometimes and you're doing a good job and there's no control, but sometimes you don't need control for something that you're not like emotionally attached to, you know.
True, true, definitely. So talking about like film project, like the latest video of David, it's something else. I mean, like shooting entirely in film. I mean, like, man, like how did you guys how you guys were able to film the whole thing on film? Like, what there was like a warm up thing. Like David, like did David like miss any trick or did it make all of them first try? Did you spend a
Nah,
lot of money to develop and converting the film?
um, I mean, we kind of just at first we were talking because we had talked about it for a long time, me and David, that is, and then finally he works in film as well, and so he's pretty busy too. So it's like finally we set a time. I was in Toronto, which is in Canada, and I was there for let's say like 2 months, I think. And I was like, okay, I have 2 weeks in Toronto, a break, and then he had 2 weeks. So then from Toronto, I went to Copenhagen, which is great because it flies direct.
Oh,
So
really? Wow.
went to Copenhagen, hung out for 2 weeks, and at first he was like, well, maybe we can film everything, you know, on the HVX2 and then on the like film 2 angles every time. I was like, you're crazy, man. We're not doing that. That's like they're like, especially because over there there's no cars. So I mean, it's the opposite of driving. You know, in LA, you're driving an hour to skate every spot, an hour spot, 30 minutes spot, 45 minutes spot. But over there, you're like riding a bike. It's incredible. It's the best. Riding a bike really slowly to your next spot. It's like, it was definitely one of the best times I've had in a while. Like skating every day, and just you wake up, you warm up by riding the bike to wherever it is, you know, have a coffee, and then you skate. It's so
Man,
good.
that's
And
amazing.
and I mean, definitely, there are definitely things that were, you know, faster. Obviously, not first try. Some stuff was first try, second try. Some stuff took, you know, almost a whole roll, and that's just kind of like that's the nature of it. I'm not like I don't expect to have them do a first try every time, you know. So it's fine. It's because I was able to go back and do all the film in Toronto. Essentially, because when we were done with it, I went straight to Toronto, and then we processed it all and scanned it all. And because we all did it ourselves, the cost of that was low.
Oh, okay.
Low. So then, really, all I paid for was the cost of the film, which was I don't know, maybe $1,000 or something. So it wasn't insane, I would say. Like
Because I bought like here in Europe, like there's only one laboratory who's able to develop rolls in Amsterdam, I guess, or like in Holland probably. And I bought from them like 3 rolls, and like it cost me within like the conversion and the digitalizing and all that, like 120 per roll.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I was wondering, man.
pretty normal, I would say for sure. Oh, it's almost like $100, $100 a minute, 75. I don't know. It definitely is really expensive unless like you have a lot of access and you have a lot of friends and you are able to do a lot of the things through and with your friends. Then yeah, then you're kind of just or you're really wealthy. Like, just like filming a roll of Super 8 or 2 rolls of Super 8, and maybe that's it because you know filming 12 rolls of 16 millimeter is a lot for especially for skating that obviously doesn't make any money, but you know, or not for people like me, you know, but that wasn't
I,
really
it's crazy because for me it always bothers me the fact that like would love to see like people like you or Dom West or like or Carsten from the and Benjamin from the Cayenne crew. Like you guys, in my opinion, should like earn I don't know millions because of all of those amazing projects that you guys are doing all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, the benefit of it all is that, you know, with all of these projects that you create on your own time, you're like people that aren't involved in the things that we're doing kind of still will see it through your own network, and then people are like, oh, you know, Hermanos is really cool, like, you know, people that don't skate at all, and so people that I work with in like the regular world or the advertising world or whatever it is, so you, regardless of if you get paid or not, like you get a lot of respect for it, you know, and and because you get a lot of respect for it, then in theory you can make more money because people think your work
True.
is. They're like, I want you to make something like kind of like looks like this that you make skating for this other thing of like, you know, shoes or whatever it is, right? And those guys do have money, so at that point, I'll take their money for sure. You know,
Definitely.
I don't I don't want to take I don't want to take a ton of John Julio's money, you know, because like
Sure.
he helped me with the flight, which is great because that helped a lot for sure. But I'm not going to be like, hey John, you owe me $5,000 for this.
Millions.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
true.
You know,
Definitely.
because I want, you know, because we're just there to do it, and and it's fun, you know, and to me it's worth more than money, obviously. So like there's no price on it.
Definitely. So, like talking about John, like, what was the feeling for you, like being involved in Valo 3 was your very first video that you have done with John, or Valo 2?
Ball of four, ball of four,
Really?
because I think I was helping Victor film a lot in Ball of three, essentially, because John. So at that time, John lived in San Jose, which was about 45 minutes here, and obviously I lived close to Victor, and so I was skating with Victor all the time, and I was skating Volos since they pretty much came out because Josiah gave me like a pair of the prototypes of the very first one, so I was skating them forever, essentially the whole time. Um, and then I was filming Victor for Valo 3 and probably Valo 2, I'm sure, because I think Victor was in Valo 2. I don't remember anymore, but so then it was like I was filming a bunch there, and then kind of just around a lot, and we'd always go skating together with be Victor and John, and at that time Jake, this other guy that was helping with Valo 3, helped like all the intro stuff, and
Hmm.
like him and Jake did some of the filming, and then this other guy named Chris helped with all of like the animation of whether it was Valo 2 or Valo 3, which was like all the color
All the
swirls.
colors things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe John was living in San Francisco at that time, actually, now that I think about it. But so we just started skating more and more together, and then it just eventually made Valo 4 because it at that time Valo was doing well, so he was able to say, hey, do you want to help film for Valo, and we can pay you monthly, you know. So then I was getting, I think it was like $1,500 or something, which was, it was kind of a lot, you know. Like for skating, I mean that's definitely money I had ever made, which was unfortunate because I lived in San Francisco, which was the most expensive city of all time.
True.
Most of my money actually went to rent, but I was able to live there, and we were able to have tons and tons of people stay at my house all the time, and really all I did was skate. And at that time we had, because Vinny had just had his daughter, not like slightly prior, so me and Vinny were doing a lot of weddings and stuff together, and that was really the only source of income that I had, was like we were doing weddings, and then but then I stopped because I didn't want to like do them every weekend, and I wanted to work on Valo stuff. So I told Vinny that I didn't want to do them anymore, and he was cool with it because, you know, he had to be essentially, and he had a daughter, and he had like a family, and he had more priorities, and
True.
I was just trying to skate, you know, which, so it's like different priorities, and so
Definitely.
every weekend now was dedicated to skating, and even weekdays because I wasn't working, you know, and I was getting paid from Valo to skate, and Kazi would come for a month or 2 months, and Soichiro would come for 2 months, and it was great.
Man, like I have to tell you, probably I've said it to you, but I can't remember that Valo 4. It's one of my all-time favorite video. It all the time like get me so much motivation to go skate and all that. I mean, even till this day, I'm still watching it because it's pretty cool. The music that you choose, the people are skating, of course, how you edit it and all that. It's pretty remarkable. I do really love it.
Yeah, I mean those were definitely some of the best trips that we ever had for sure because we were doing well, had my tours and there was just a lot of there was a lot of trips and a lot of things that were happening all the time, and it was great because everyone got to hang out together all the time and you can see it in the video, right?
Yeah.
Because and that was I guess that was always my favorite part about making skate videos and making things like that is kind of like portraying the same feeling that you'd get even if you're not like on the Valo team or whatever, but like the idea is universal, right? So when you're out with your friends who are all 10 years old, you still kind of feel the same way and you're like having fun and it's always great.
That is why I do love Valo 4 because you really have like the feeling of being. I was saying that one with Patrick earlier about the damn team. Like you guys are first friends and then you guys are teammates. And in Valo 4, you really feel like the friendship between you guys and all that. So that is why, in my opinion, it helps me. Like it gives me motivation whenever I watch it because for some reason it reminds me the early days when I was skating with all my friends back in the day, or I don't know, it's just a feeling.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean that's how it is here too in Northern California though. Everyone here is I mean we skate together all the time and we don't obviously I'm biased to brands, but also like I'm not gonna not skate with someone because they skate razors or something. Cameron skates rollerblades, Sneaky skates razors, he skates sometimes, and he skates sometimes he skates them sometimes. It's I don't know. I think obviously the brands are important. It's important to support the people that you believe in, but before the brands, there's the feeling and that's
Yeah,
more.
true, true. But we do have a question for Marcelo. First, Mijo Marquis from San Diego says it like every Valo videos are pretty cool. And then like we have this question from Marcelo. He says, "What is the best trick captured by your camera? Was it the Erik Bailey final trick in Valo 5?
Probably. Well, yeah, probably.
Man, that was
Like
intense, right?
I was like screaming like a girl, and I was over that day because we had like when we were in Reno, which is kind of like Vegas, and like we had gone out all night with like because there's also all of the young guys were there and Franco and there's like 12 of us and Erik went to sleep early because he's like I'm trying to get this trick and that must be like maybe 8 in the morning or really early
What?
because we had got kicked out the day before when he was
No
trying
way.
this is like it's like 3 hours here so it's not like we can just go there all the time by any means. We'll get up really early and everyone's like half asleep and he must have landed pretty quick or like 15 minutes 20 minutes. I left my skates there. I think I left like a bunch of poker chips. Like I was so stoked we just left.
No way.
Yeah, that was definitely very, very incredible for sure. I mean, there has been a lot of them though, but I guess if I'm just gonna think of one really fast, it's probably that one.
That is probably one of the biggest trick ever done on skates.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, it's even bigger in person, like way bigger in person. It's fucking like it's like nipple high, which I can't even jump on it. First of all, can't even jump on it at all, and
Man.
like not runway, so you can't go that fast, and
And
it's
it's a ledge. I
so
mean,
long. Like it's like as long as like I don't know the whole winter class or like half of the winter class skate park, like grinding a ledge that's like from one side to the other. It's crazy, dude.
Jesus, man, it's crazy. And like, there's a question also that like anticipate me, and I forget about asking you because I was watching Untitled and like that fast light, man. Like, where did you like? How in the hell like you were like, okay, I'm gonna fast like this big ass drop rail,
Yeah, I mean at the time it was easy, so
dude.
it wasn't a big deal. So it was like because I was doing a lot of. I guess that's when fast slides were really popular. I forget who was the first guy who started doing them really good. I guess it was probably like Farmer or no, who who was doing them? Hyphy, you know, Farmer Hyphy, those two guys. Because I remember Dustin Latimer did one, but it was like on that rail in Sandy somewhere south, but it wasn't really like held like when people start.
Oh, Gambi. What's up with Dolph Hicks? Mio, we already talked about Valo 6 earlier. And another call?
Yeah, my dad's calling me. Sorry.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I don't want to waste your time, man.
No, it's all good. I'm just gonna respond to him on this text message real quick.
No problem. So, yeah, probably, I do believe that, like, Farmer did, like, a really good one in words, the slow one.
Yeah, that exactly. That was the error. That was crazy. That's like a fucking like 40 there or something.
Yeah, super slow. Like, he was like,
Yeah,
riding super slow, probably to show like that he has control. Man, like that fast slide was unbelievable. But even yours, I mean, like that one, that rail looks super high, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's extremely high. Like, I mean, it's probably like, you know, here or something.
Oh,
But just skate as fast as you can. Then, you know, eventually it's like you're going this way and the rail's going this way, and by the time you jump on it, you know, it could be ankle high if you just go enough. It's, so it wasn't at the time. It wasn't that bad. I think I had done it twice, because one time was for the cover of the thing of the video, and the other time was for, I don't know what it was for. Maybe just we were just filming. I think one time we were just filming. The second time, this guy named Mike Rafinha was there, who was taking a picture.
damn.
Who
And like
gave it to Quasim for the cover.
crazy. And like talking about the inside of Hermanos, which is like another like film project that you've done, which is pretty cool because you get the same vibe that you were like saying earlier about Battle 4, the friendship one and stuff like that. How did you guys like? How did you made the decision to go in Mexico and yeah, exactly. Why Mexico?
Um, well, because it's the best, but also because me and Victor are really familiar with Mexico, and we had a lot of friends there, and it just made the most sense because there was the most connections there. And the reason why we even started making those, I think it was after Vol 5, but like essentially after Vol 5, there kind of started being a lot of like, or with Volo, we didn't have any more money, and we couldn't do all these things, really do trips and things like that. I was just kind of like, well, maybe I'll just try and make my own stuff for a little bit, but because these guys are my friends anyways, I'm gonna make it with the same people, you know. But then it's just not gonna be a Volo video, but it's kind of thing because it's mainly both it. And John, I think John mostly helped with probably flights as well, because he was always helping for
Man,
the. I mean, he also helped with him and John and Gressimall were the only reasons why we were able to do Shred to Your Dead, because I think they gave me like $5,000 each or something at the time. So it was like,
wow.
which, because it was like, you know, we had to rent vans and we had to like do all this shit, and everyone on the trip got like $300, $400 just to eat and stuff like that. So it was like, without them, those videos, without John and Justin from
Justin.
and those videos would have never even happened, because at the time I definitely didn't have any money. You know, I could make the videos, but I didn't have any money.
True. No, awesome. And so, like, with that being said, like, are you working on something like Hermanos 2 or Hermanos 2 or something like that?
Yeah, well, I'm not working on it yet, but I got it. And so yeah, but I'm gonna leave it at that. But it's from the next year, and it was in Puerto Rico, and it was incredible. For sure.
Wow.
Sometimes I take a really long time to put out projects, but you know, it's hard to do it all, and it's hard to constantly be motivated, at least for me, you know. And then also have to work, you know, all the time in the regular world, and like you can't just like, at least I can't like go to work all day and then come home and work on something personal, because I'm fried, you know. So like
Definitely.
it's hard to constantly on every avenue.
I think
But
Eric
yeah,
Garcia says coming out 2056.
Eric's Mac is he grew up in the era of Instagram. I mean, that's no fair.
Exactly. So,
That's no.
I'm sorry.
I said that's no fair.
True. So, Ivan, with that being said, it's already like 40 minutes. I don't want to steal your time, and I do really appreciate the fact that we've been chatting, and you told me all those things about like the video that you've done, and like still like really say thank you for all the video that you have done it because they're really inspiring to me. I do really love them to get motivation to go skate. So super thumbs up for what you've done and what you're doing and what you'll be doing.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Well, there'll be more. There's more. Just
I can't wait. I can't
gotta be
wait
patient.
then.
It'll happen.
Okay, great. So Ivan, thank you so much. Wish you like a great day. I'm looking forward to see you soon, maybe here in Italy. Who knows?
I would love to.
Man, please come. You
We
know
never
it like
ever got to go with Valo. We were supposed to, and then just never did. So one of these days, we'll go for fun to have some pizza.
definitely pizza, pasta, whatever. Please come. You guys are more than welcome.
Yeah. All right.
So
Till next
thank you
time.
so much, Ivan. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.